Hey everybody, today I'm going to tell you what you're going to be getting in issue 5 of SIDEQUEST, the monthly digital RPG magazine. To start with, I've got to talk about the amazing cover to this issue. This was done by an artist named Jarek, who I've worked with many times over the last couple of years, and it depicts Jojo the Clown offering the viewer a set of tickets entering into the Carnival of Hysteria, and I am in love with this piece. I think it's really vibrant and it's dark and broody and menacing, and it's all the good things that you want from a cover piece. This is the first issue where we've commissioned a piece of art for the cover rather than using stock art, and I think it's been worth every penny. It's something that I'd really like to keep doing in the future, so I've set a new goal over on Patreon that when we hit 200 patrons, we will start commissioning a new custom cover every single month. Kicking things off, we have the Carnival of Hysteria. Now this is lore for a magical carnival that travels from location to location and puts on a show for the people of the surrounding area. A few days before, jesters kind of parade through the local towns giving out tickets, and then they have this big carnival that's full of different games and activities for people to do, and there's a healthy dose of magic involved too. In this article, you're going to learn all about the Carnival of Hysteria. You're going to find out the people that live there and work there. You're going to find out about some of the attractions they have there. There's some plot hooks to get your players invested in the location, and there is also a variety of carnival games for your players to amuse themselves with, written by Todd Kleinpaste. Not just that, but you're also going to get Vinder's Vault. Now Vinder is a magical vendor who appears alongside the carnival and always kind of sets up nearby. He's not directly affiliated with the carnival, but because he attracts people to peddle his wares, the carnival kind of tolerates him, and he sells a variety of magic items. He always seems to have exactly whatever the player needs at that time. Several of these items have been written by Xavier Bates, and several of them come from my own homebrew game, which I've used over the last couple of years. So you're going to get this mix of magical items being sold by Vinder, and Vinder is also going to become an ongoing part of the magazine. From issue to issue, you'll see different wares that he has to offer. Next up, we have possibly my favorite part of the entire issue: 4 new subclasses for your player options, all with a carnival theme. First up, we have the Bard College of Clowns. Now this subclass is all about that classic clown or jester idea of causing distractions and entertainment and doing performances. So during combat, a clown bard is going to be focusing on debuffing enemies and buffing allies, causing distractions, kind of a second line fighter. They're not going to be in the thick of things, and then outside of combat they're going to use their social skills to entertain and kind of disarm anyone that you're interacting with. Starting at level 3, they get to spend one of their Bard inspiration dice to perform a clown's performance. Now this might be something like throwing a pie in an enemy's face to blind them, or getting them to smell a flower on your coat that's filled with acid. Lots of clown based features like that. Next up, we have the Juggler Fighter. Now this class is all about using thrown weapons. They are proficient with thrown weapons, and they get a variety of features focused around the juggling and throwing of different weapons. My personal favorite is at 7th level. They get the ability to attune to several items and then return them to their hand, sort of like Thor's hammer or Captain America's shield. And then at later levels they can throw an item and kind of hold on to it and be propelled by that motion, smacking into enemies as well. Then we have the Path of Greatness Barbarian. These are barbarians who are determined to prove themselves as the greatest, who put on the biggest shows. When they enter into a rage, they declare an act of greatness. They say, during my rage, I'm going to accomplish this act of greatness as determined by them and the DM. And if they're able to achieve that act of greatness, they get a greatness die, which allows them to improve their abilities in later rounds. And then my personal favorite subclass in this issue is the Deckcaster Warlock. This is a warlock whose patron is a tarot deck, and they can use this tarot deck to perform a variety of different features. So each day they draw a hand of tarot deck, and there are 44 unique options presented in the issue, and each of those gives them access to different spells, different effects, some good, some bad. It's like doing a tarot reading every day that scales with their proficiency, and it allows them to do things like use spells that aren't in their spell list or that they don't have prepared, or if they get particularly unlucky, they might summon a cohort of devils and have to fight them off. The last article in this issue is the Flourish system. This is a new narrative combat mechanic written by Eric Law. So this system works by anytime you roll an 18, 19 or 20 on an attack roll, you get to add some kind of mechanical flourish to that attack. Now that might be slicing an enemy to deal bleed damage, or blinding them for a turn, pushing them over, disarming them. There's a bunch of different options to hopefully make your combats more interesting than just I roll an 18, he takes 12 damage. If you are interested by any of the articles I've mentioned in this video, you can find a link to issue number 5 down in the description below. There's a link down there to my Patreon where you can pay $5 a month to get access to every issue as it's released, or $10 a month gets you access to my entire vault of content, which is all the back issues of SideQuest and everything I've ever released on there as well. You can also pick it up on DriveThruRPG as individual issues. That's listed down in the description as well. And I'd love to know what you'd be most excited to include in your game from this issue down in the comments below. But until next time, happy gaming.